Hello, right. So here, here we are going to familiar with our programming one, the environment, right? Programming one means we are going to familiar with the fundamentals of programming. Okay, so there we are going to use a particular programming language having the name Java. Okay, maybe after some time maybe we are going to do another section, programming language, maybe Python. Maybe you are going to discover new programming language. Let's say we are going to name it, Java. So we should know different programming languages also, right? Now the idea is here we have to familiar with the fundamentals. Okay, when we interact with the computer, we should know fundamentals of programming. Okay, now by using this programming one, we are not going to familiar with the entire aspects of Java. We have to understand that very clearly. Okay, but there's a very important requirement from our side. Okay, everybody should know how to write Java programs. Dirava, that parrot, theory is not possible. We have changed the syllabus and the testing environment also to make sure to a certain standard. Because I know now because to this type of external programs, you go through the previous papers and then parrot theory and come to the exam. Okay, I have got A. I know everything, right? But you don't know anything because again you get tested in the 4th semester, to my knowledge. Okay, for the programming too. So then when we are going through your answer papers, we feel like getting suicide. I'm sorry. Okay, because you don't know fundamentals also. So if you don't know those fundamentals, right, then right, if you know fundamentals, then you can get into depth, right? Okay, so no need to discuss those things further. Now I am going to check you. Now here actually, okay, I come to that later. Now here, we have to say hello. No? Once we are going, we come to a certain, maybe a class or somewhere. When we are meeting a person in the road, you say hello, no? How do you say hello? Say hello. I told you this is not a cemetery, please. I am scared of ghosts. So say hello. You can speak. Thanks God. Right? Right. So then, now the thing is, now we are going to say hello in Java. Okay? So if you are going to say hello in Java, what you have to do? You have to write a Java program. So now this session basically, okay, going to be a different one. We have to work. Not only me, okay? Not only me. I am going to, I myself and Subodhini going to spend, leisure time here, but we will have to work. And then if you have participated for this 4 hours, I hope you can face the something without any problem. That is our task. Is it okay? So then accordingly we have changed the way that this is my first experience in a seminar. So then we need your cooperation, feedback at this moment. Okay, don't wait till the data die. Talk to us within this form. Is it okay? Right. So now our target is to say hello in Java. You have been given, I think, neither. They have given the rough sheets, no? Right? So you have pens also. Right? I think you can write also. Right? Please introduce yourself. Now I am Nyoma Agoti. Right? I have introduced in English. Now you have to introduce yourself in Java. What you have to do? You have to write a simple Java program. Isn't it? Please write. Okay? Right. So please write a Java program now. Those who are going to sit for the 27 paper. Don't worry. If you can't write, okay? If you can't write, That is not the end of the world. Okay? Still you have time. Don't go home and write a letter and, this is my final letter or something like that. No, you have time. Please, I am going to show you all your weaknesses in, preparing for the exam. Is it okay? So I am going to check your books also. I know when, you don't like it. I am also, very backward person when I was a student. Even though I speak loudly here. So I know your mentality and everything, but we should know each other. Okay, we have to have something. Please write a program. Done? Oh. So then now when we are writing a program, okay, what we have to do? We have to enter the program using an editor, right? And then how many people have tested the program? How many people have written the program by using a computer and tested here? How many people? Please raise your hands. Be honest. Thanks. Okay. So then when we are let's assume we are using Windows environment. Now please listen to me. I am helping you. This is seminar. 27 this is exam. That is something in red, right? So now, but we have to have a knowledge, right? Knowledge is very important. So I am going to check your knowledge and help you all to find out your weaknesses and then face the exam, confident, very confident, right? Okay. So now in Windows environment and in Linux environment also we can write Java programs. Do you agree with that? Yes. So then let's say when we are using the Windows environment, have you heard about the word Notepad? Yes or no? So other than Notepad there are other editors also which can be used to write Java, and you can do other things. Then but after that you have to save the file and you have to compile the file and then run the interpret, right? Run the interpret. So these are the steps that you have to do, right? So then now here you can see we have introduced a class, right? And then at the same time you can see we have given a name or an identifier, right, to this particular class. This class is, the class term is used because Java is a fully object-oriented programming language. Okay, that is why here we use this class and have to provide a class name. Is it okay? Then after that, now what is the class that we have used there? Hello. So have you followed the conventions required for a particular class? What are the conventions that you need? Now here I have written my class. It is hello app. Okay, hello application. So here I have used some conventions, isn't it? Now here H is in capital letters and A is in capital letters, no spaces in between. They are conventions, no? Class name should have these properties basically. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? No. Okay, I am checking whether you can speak. Okay, don't start sleeping. If you sleep, you have to sing a song. At least Jataka Diya, Right. So then, so at the same time you better check the videos. You can continue. Right. So then, after that what have to do? We have to introduce the main method, isn't it? So then, can you remember how to write a main method? Now you can see, but without this help, can you write a main method? Can everybody loudly, tell me how to write main method? Public, static, void, main, within parentheses, string, args. You can see the pair of square brackets. You see? Then the curly brackets are used. So you introduce this main method because this is a program. Okay, this is a program. Even though we are using object-oriented environment, here we are going to write the program and we are going to execute it. Can you understand it? Right? So then, after that what we have to do? We have to say hello and in your context you introduce yourself, isn't it? So then, here we have introduced system.out.println, and within double quotes you have to say hello, right? So then this is called out statement. Okay, so normally this is the basic structure of a program. Okay, if you are going to write a Java program, the basic structure. Is it okay? So then here we have a class name, main method is included, then simple statements are included. Is it okay? Right? So now before moving to further discussions, let's try to familiar with this. Now Java is a programming language, right? It's a computer programming language. Nathan, right? Can everybody hear me? The back rows? If you can't, here there are a lot of seats available. Hopefully President or Prime Minister are not coming. So these seats are for you all, right? They don't know Java, right? So then, anyway, so here you can see we are using a computer programming language. Other than that, there are different languages also there, natural languages like our mother tongue. In my context, I speak in Sinhalese. Now our Shubodhani, he speaks in Tamil, right? So there are maybe other people who are speaking Hindi also. Hindi is very popular in Sri Lanka, right? So they are natural languages, isn't it? Right? So then now when we are speaking in our own natural languages, right? Like maybe English or whatever, right? So then now let's say if you say mother, in my context Amma, okay? In your context Subodhini, Amma, same, right? So what do you mean? Who remember? Hello? Amma. Okay, not anybody, ne? Even though there are nice songs which have been written for different people, Amma means Amma. Tata, father, tree, Palayan, something like that. The thing is, by using these terms, right, we try to inform, we try to signal something to the next party, isn't it? Right? So that means we have some keywords in our languages. Okay? We have some like mother, father, gusser, tree, something like that. Is it okay? So then they are reserved for different tasks in our natural languages also. Then when we are writing something, by using natural languages, we try to form statements. Okay, I go to home. Okay, I never go and sit for the exam. Something like that. So we form statements. Can you understand? So when also computer programming languages also, right? So then there are different computer programming languages are there, like C, C++, okay, grandfather and great grandfather of Java, and then Java, right? Then what are the other programming languages? Python, PHP, anything? Okay, so programming languages are there, right? Right. So then now when we are trying to, I couldn't hear you all, right? So when you are, trying to familiar with a particular programming language, what you have to do, you have to familiar with the reserved words of that particular programming language. Is it okay? So then now when the particular programming language is developed, the author of that programming language get reserved some keywords for that. Okay? We call them reserved words, so keywords. Okay? They have a different given structure, given idea of that particular word. Can you understand? Okay, if you check this particular program, then you should be able to identify some keywords available in Java. Okay? Right? So now can you suggest me? How about the class, the word class? Is it a keyword? Yes or no? The reserved word, because Mr. Gosling has got reserved that word for Java, isn't it? Right. How about the hello word? No. It's an identifier. It's like, Professor Samarnayak Auditorium, a given name, isn't it? You can change it later on, but we are not going to change this, okay? So then, how about the public? The word public, that is also a keyword in Java. And then static, void, main, no. That is the point that you face problems. Main is not a keyword in Java. Okay, it's a method name. Okay, it's a method name like your home, let's say maybe you have named your home after, let's say, children or something like that. So then, that is the given name for that particular house. You can change it, okay, later on. Okay? So name is not a keyword, but it's a special method name in Java. You have to understand that. Then string. Can you compare this string with hello app? You might see some similarities, isn't it? Right? String and hello app has some similarities. String is not a keyword. Okay? I come to that later. Then ask. How about ask? Ask? No. Ask, because I am going to ask questions from you all, because at this moment you have that ability, which you are going to face for the exam, okay? But I am going to help you also. I am going to show you the path. Then how about the system.out.println? Are they keywords in Java? Yes or no? They are not keywords in Java. They are not reserved words in Java. Okay? Please remember that. That is why the failure rate is, very high in bit programming language. Bit programming language. Okay, please remember, here class is a keyword, public, static and void. They are the only keywords that you can see in this particular thing. Is it okay? Right? So don't get confused. But I will talk about the other things later on. For the time being, my requirement is, the person who is going to set the paper, he needs your understanding of keywords or reserved words in Java. Now in this context, actually when it comes to Java, there are around 56 keywords available. Okay? So then you don't have to remember everything. It is not possible now. Even maybe the Gosling also can't remember. Right? So then, but you should have some sort of idea about the keyword. Is it okay? Right. Then after that, now, so what is enough question, okay, regarding keywords, not now. Right? Then what do? You have to save the file. Now in Java, when you are saving a file, what you have to do? There are some conventions are there, right? So normally the class name is the file name, right? Class name is the file name, and then after that what do you do? Class name is the file name, and then after that, hello? You provide a class name, and the file extension is java.java. Then you save the file. Now at this moment you can see the notepad has an untitled name. Then after that you save this. Okay, cat also going to listen to me, right? Then you can see we have to save the file. After saving, you can see in the notepad, the title bar has been changed. Can you see? You should see something like that, okay? If you are going to write the programs in your computer. I hope so. Right? Let's see. Then, now, when it comes to Java, there are two processes involved. Okay, now we have to programming. Programming languages are written in higher level languages, like familiar words to users, like English. Okay, now here you can see print, system.out.println. Okay, they are familiar to users. Users means what? The people who are writing programs. Normally we call them who? Programmers. Okay, so programmers, they use very familiar words like print, hello app, class, something like that. But the thing is, when you are going to the hardware side of a computer, can a computer understand this system.out, those things? No. Okay? Computers can understand only the machine word, machine languages. What do you mean machine languages? What do you mean machine languages, Lamai? Zeros and ones, isn't it? Right, basically, right? So whether there's a light or no, or something like that. So then, now let's say, Onamaiwa, Ogenki desu ka? You are confused, isn't it? You are confused, isn't it? Why? You don't know that particular language, right? So now it is something like that. From the front end, we open a notepad and we write something, class, hello app, something like that, system, public static void main, then we save the file, and then if you are going to convert, if you are going to ask the computer to execute, new word I think, execute that particular program, computer can't understand, because there are two, there's a gap in between the person who is writing the program and the computer side. Computer can understand only the machine languages, but we write high level languages. Okay, there are very high level programming languages. There's a gap in between the computer side and our side. Can you understand? So how do we bridge it? How do we bridge it? How do we bridge that gap? Now I spoke to you in a different language. So how do you understand? You can call, let's say you go to another country. Okay, you suddenly now we are in a different country, let's say Japan. You are talking to the king of Japan. So he say, Onamae wa hajisimaste, So then now we say, Aibowan kohomada, Tapsaniba kohomada. There's a huge gap in between, us. So how do we bridge that gap? We need to have a translator. What is the purpose of the translator? What is the task of the translator? He or she understands our words, convert it to the Japanese, and he understands Japanese word, something like that. Is it okay? Here also the same thing happens. Okay, now when it comes to programming environment, when in order to translate, okay, there are two practices has to be followed. First one is called compilation. The second one is called interpretation. Okay, when it comes to compilation, this is a seminar. Okay, it's a revision. When it comes to compilation, the entire source code is taken and converted to the object code. So when we are translating, each line is converted to the objective code. Is it okay? And then run. So then now here in Java we have a hybrid environment. In the sense, here we have to do the compilation and interpretation, right? Okay, so then that is why here we have to compile the Java program. You save it and you go to the command prompt. Here we expect you all to write all the programs in Notepad, but it's okay. Let's see. Then what is the Java compiler? How do we call the Java compiler? By typing Java C. Is it okay? Then you have to provide the source file there. Okay, right. Then after that, if you have written the program correctly, what will happen? What will happen? In your folder, what will happen? There will be another file generated having the file extension what? Dot class, right? That is called what? Bytecode, isn't it? Java bytecode, right? So then here this is how you compile a program, and then if you want to execute it, you have to call the Java interpreter and you have to execute the bytecode, isn't it? Then you can see the program is saying hello, right? So the thing is, we can go on number of slides this way talking about these concepts. I think for today this is not good, isn't it? If we can discuss some questions regarding each section and familiar with how to write the how to answer, okay, some problems with each questions, and then I think that is okay, because I can go on with number of slides and then discuss with you all. I think at this moment it is not worthwhile. What do you think? Okay, what do you think? Because you all are our customers now. We have to satisfy our customers. Shall we start that approach? Right, okay. Shubhodini, can you show me a few questions? Right. Right, now there are a number of question papers are there. So we are going to focus on that. At the same time we have slides also. We can discuss, but I know you have gone through several slides, you have gone to different classes also. So within these 4 hours, let's try to utilize the given hours, meaningfully. Is it okay? Right. So now This is Programming 1 2012 paper. I hope not 2013 paper is there. So, okay, if you go further down. Okay. Now here you know, can you see the question 8 and 9 2012? Can you see? Okay. Right. So right. We can see, no problem. Right. Can you ever see this thing? Alright. Okay, I'm going to help you with that. Right. The ninth question is a very familiar question, you know, program. Normally you get this type of programs. I am not sure about the next paper. So here it says, you know, our first program, and then you can see the main, you know, method, right? And then, you know, there's a person name is appearing. And if you go to the questions, okay, so go further down. Right. Here, you know, further down, please. Here, you know, in the 9 questions, what are the options which has been given? Select from among the following incorrect statements related to the given program. Can you understand the questions? Okay, because you have to familiar with the paper, you know, the way that, you know, questions are asked, you know, because you have to go to the past question paper, even though you don't get the same question. I'm sure, right? So then, now here it says incorrect. So it can't be correct. No, if you say correct, what would be the repercussion? You won't get marks. So what are the options? The given program can be written in any text editor and execute. Yes or no? You can write in any text editor, no? What are the text editors that you can see? Notepad, WordPad, yes, and from this side, how about Word? Microsoft Word? How about Microsoft Word? It is also possible, but when you are saving, you have to save it using a different option, plain text or something like that. Okay, remember that. So that's the correct thing. Then while spaces which appear in the program are ignored by the compiler. What is the meaning of that option? What do you mean while spaces? Okay, blank. Very good. Right? So they are ignored by the compiler, isn't it? That is a true statement. So can you mark this? No, because we expect you all to identify the incorrect statements. Main method composed of the words namely main, string and args. What is your understanding? Main method, you know main method now. That is not a keyword in Java, isn't it? Main method composed of the words namely main, string and args. Is it true? Because of main method, it should have output statement also, because of main method, it should have output. When we start talking about object orientation, let's discuss this is, in detail. But for the time being, that is incorrect. What do you think? Talk to me. Your understanding of the particular question is very important, right? So how about the /n represent single line comment in Java? Yes or no? No, for the time being, no. Let's discuss comments also later. Right? Program should be saved by giving the file name Chamara Madhushankar. Yes, now you know. Okay? We discuss. So, can you understand? Paper is very easy. But why don't you answer it? That is our problem facilitator. They don't answer the questions well. So then now can you identify another program, okay. So then now you know somewhat Java, how to write the first program, but I am going to follow a flow from the beginning to the end. Then I think you will understand something, no? Right? Is it okay? Right. So then, actually, Java was developed by Mr. James Gosling. Okay, not James Bond. Right? So then, so at what is the lab? What is the lab? Huh? That is the company. But what is the lab? Forget about it. Sun Microsystem, they developed the Java programming language in which year? 1991. Okay. So then at first, Mr. Gosling gave a name to the Java. That was not Java. Because when he was writing the particular programming language, okay, even though his better part, maybe wife, maybe bothering, something like that. But there was a one tree in front of him from the room, okay, that tree helped him a lot to think, take decisions, something like that. So he named that particular language with the name Oak, isn't it? In 1991, Sun Microsystems developed it. So you better go for a particular questions, okay? Right? So then at the same time, right, in around 2010, right, another company purchased the right of this Sun Microsystem, the Java. Now if you go to the website, you can see that word. What is the company? Okay, so Java initially developed by which company? Okay, but later on, Oracle purchased it. Is it okay? So there may be, now let's say, now here if you go through the question number 8, right? So here you can see, select from among the following the company which bought the ownership of Java in 2010. Is it Sun Microsystem? Is it Oracle? Is it Intel? Help me. Okay. Is it Microsoft? Okay. Apple? So what is the correct answer? So you can get marks. So why you are getting so many failures? Very easy, Neither. මොකද කියන්නේ? Okay. So but at the same time now, once you get this question paper, can you to go to another question like this from another paper? Okay. I'm sorry, He's my facilitator at this moment. She's doing a good job for you all, right? So then, now at the same time, now once you got the question paper, you have to go through it, properly. Okay, you have to read it and check the page numbers, question numbers, and there may be mistakes, but we don't, correct them in the examination hall, right? So then at the same time, you have to identify the answers and mark them in this paper, isn't it? I've seen a lot of people are trying to translate the answers in the answer, and then if you have done mistake, but you have to give another answer sheet. That is not possible. Please try to understand. You mark the answers here, and maybe after 1 hour, you slowly transfer the answers to your answer sheet. Is it okay? Try to remember that 2 hours given, but in our context, 45 questions are given. So you have around 2 minutes, something like that. At the same time, we expect you all to write programs also. So because of that, we have given a low weight for some questions. In the sense, by looking at the questions, you can get the answer. So within maybe 3 or 4 seconds, you can get the answer. If you know Java, if you don't know Java, see you next year. Right? Right. So do you have another, I'm putting you into trouble. Okay. A question like, company, something like that. From another question. Let's stick to 2 questions. Right. So then, Mr. Gosling developed it. You know the basic idea of the Java, right? Where you develop the Java, in which year. So you might get confused, in the exam paper if you don't know anything. Is it okay? Then after that, now after giving the name Oak, right? So then once they went to a coffee shop, so they see a nice coffee, a warm coffee. So Gosling liked that coffee, So then he used that cup also, and then now we have the Java with us. Is it okay? Right? So then what are the features of Java? Go try to find out, features, Right. Then now what are the features of Java? Java is a fully object-oriented programming language, isn't it? What do you mean object-oriented programming language? What's the Sinhala term for object? You don't know, no? Actually, you know object orientation very well, but since it's a very public environment, I can't go into detail. Right? So you know object orientation very well. What we have to do, we have to familiar the Java and use Java in object orientation. Right? So somehow, when you are talking about object orientation, you will remember these features. Abstraction. Have you heard about this term? Encapsulation, data hiding, inheritance, polymorphism. But we have to discuss those things under object orientation. So Java is a fully object oriented programming language. Yes or no? Okay. Then, okay. Right? At the same time, Java is not the first object oriented programming language. There was another programming language having the name Eiffel. That is the first ever programming language, okay, which is using object-oriented features. Is it okay? So at the same time, Java is a platform-independent programming language. What do you mean? Platform-independent. In Sri Lanka, you can see this object-oriented, these things very well. What do you mean platform-independent? Are you interested in politics? I am not. But you might see there are different governments, in Sri Lanka, no? Under satellite, under different people, you know that, right? So but you might have seen the same person doing minister portfolios in every government. He or she change the tie color or the sari color and go to another government and sit happily and, okay, adhikaranamate, I'm joking, okay? So that form independent. What do you mean? Can you understand? You know object orientation, you know Java very well. So try to get 100% this time, okay? What do you mean platform independent? Okay, right. How do you mean platform independent? We don't have time to spend, we have to cover the entire syllabus. Please help me. That means, but when it comes to computer environment, okay, if you write a Java program, a source file in a one platform like Windows, like UFP government, you can take it to a Linux, maybe SLF government and run safely. Platform independent. You can see, there are a lot of people. I can't like to it. I'm scared of white hands. Okay, anyway, right? So that's the one feature. And at the same time, by using Java, we can create very sophisticated interfaces by using Swing package. Okay? At the same time, Java can be used to write applications and applets also. But under this syllabus, we don't cover the applets. But from the next year, there will be a lot of problems. So try to pass the exam this time. Okay? They are going to introduce 1.7, lot of boxing theories, lot of things are there. Right? Anyway, so that is there. Then actually, now here if you go through this, right? Select from among the following valid statements in Java. Java is considered as the first ever object-oriented programming language. It is not, because C++ is also an object-oriented programming language. So you don't have to remember, Eiffel and every history. But C++ is also not is a object-oriented. So then, for sure, Java is not the first ever. Is it okay? But Java is a fully object-oriented programming language, right? Then Simula 69 is the first name given for Java. Then Dhanma. What is the name? Correct. So then Java was developed during World War II, 1939-45. True or false? A was? Java was developed by James Gosling. This side. This side, please. I need your participation. I never ask private questions, but this taking time, I keep seeing right? Sun Micro is the company in which the Java was developed. Yes or no? Can you understand? Okay, so then Golden. Right? So you can pass very easily. Okay, so then that is okay. So then after that, now you know features, right? Can you go to the fourth question? Right? I think there's another question like this. Right? Try to find another question. Sorry. Go to the question because there are 10 features, okay? Right? So we have to. Okay. This one, let's show this thing. This is what the answer of the go to the first question. Right. So then, while she is finding another question, okay, then now you know the features of Java. Can you all please mention? Now at the same time, you can write software program. Networks, database connectivity is possible with Java. There are lots of facilities in Java. Java is a very versatile, very sophisticated programming language. You should know these abilities, right? Okay. So then we know that also. Then now, right? Okay. Now can you see the first question here? Can everyone read it loudly? Select from the following valid statements. What do you mean statement and statement? There may be more than one correct option. You have to remember that also. But if you try to go for wrong one, you will get negative marks. You have to understand that also. So please go to the exam with the knowledge. Don't try to go there and guess, because when you are setting the paper, we know how you guess. So then we tackle it. Okay? That is why the failure rate is very high. Right. Java is an object-oriented programming language. Yes or no? Yes. Java was developed by James Gosling. Same thing, no? Right. First name given for the Java is Oak. Java was developed in the Microsoft company. Do you have any contact with Bill Gates uncle? No, here we don't have. Bill Gates uncle has a company. It is not open, commercial, no? But it is open. But this is not the correct way to talk about this. Understand that. Java was developed in 1991. What about the 2010 problem? 2010 we talk about something in 2010. What is that? Oracle purchase. Okay, so Oracle is a different company. You know that? Right. Okay. So then now when we are writing programs, right, in Java, we have to remember to capital letters, to use capital letters in some cases, and to use simple letters in some places. So that is called case sensitivity. That's the one feature of Java, C++. Okay? So then at the same time, now if you go to the second question, select from among the following correct statements on Java programming language. Java is a case sensitive programming language. If you write Java in capital letter, the compiler will understand it differently. You have to understand that. So then number B, good in handling errors in its own. That means in Java, we have a capability called exception handling. Okay, we can handle exceptions, very nicely in Java because it has its own classes. Okay, you have to understand that. That's the one feature, ability, isn't it? Right? I couldn't mention those. I'm sorry. So then, see, capable of handling databases. It's possible, right? It's possible, right? So then, a platform-independent language. Yes or no? If you can't answer for that, I'm sorry about it. Right? Right. They automatically collecting garbage. We could mention it. Now when it comes to Java, okay, Java is a fully object-oriented programming language. Objects are interacted with each other. So then when the Java virtual environment sees some objects are not using any longer, it gets collected. And memory is free. Okay? So that is called automatic garbage, memory cleaning or something like that. Is it okay? So then here, what are the correct answers? All. So there are that of situations also. Right? So now we have answered 2 questions satisfactorily. Again, you have 45. But you will answer them, I'm sure. Hi there. Okay. Shall we go to the question? Now here there is a diagram given to you. There is another diagram given to you. Can you see? There's X, okay, and Y is there, machine code is there. We talked about those things, no? And then number 1, number 2. First of all, if you are given a diagram, please try to understand it. But it is also representing your knowledge. Okay, Java environment and how to compile, something like that. But I am not there in the exam hall to remember that. Right. Can you go to the question, please? Select from among the following correct terms which can be used for each blank indicated as 1 and 2 in the diagram considering Java and its programming environment. Then when you are going through the given options, you can get an idea, right? Okay? A, assembler and compiler. B, compiler assembler. Compiler interpreter. Java C, Java. And 1 Java, 2 Java C. So what is the question? What is your understanding? Here we have a machine code within a circle. In X we get another file, right? In Y, in X we have to write a file, and in Y we get generated a file, and then that file is converted to machine code when we are doing the number 2. Right? So what are the answers that you expect? How about assembler and compiler? No, we don't have assemblers involved, so you can forget about it. Number B, the B option, compiler and assembler. No, because I didn't mention, James Gosling didn't mention about assembler something. No, it is not in the books. So don't worry about the very good knowledge, but we don't know something like that. No. How about the compiler and interpreter? That is something which is known. No. Okay. That must be a correct answer, isn't it? We compile and we interpret. How about the number 1? Okay, X is source code, Y is byte code. So source code is converted to byte code by using a compilation process. So compiler 1. I think it is correct. It is correct, no? So then interpretation. Machine code is converted to, the byte code is converted to machine code through the interpretation. It seems it's okay. Harineda. Right. Then how about the D? Java C and Java. That is also the Java representation of this idea, right? Java compiler, Java C, Java interpreter, Java. That is also correct, isn't it? Yes or no? Wake up. Backseat. Are you all with me? Okay, thank you. Then Java C, 1 Java, 2 Java C. Can't be, no. We never interpret and then go for compilation, no. That is wrong. Can you understand? So third question also fine. You can, very easily answer the questions. No, you know. Right? Is it okay? Any questions? Huh? Is it okay? Do you like this way? Let's talk about some theories and get some questions and familiar with the questions, how to answer. That is my approach. Do you like it or not? I can go through your slides and discuss, no point, no, at this moment. Right? Now you have to, face the exams very soon. Right. Then, now we know compilation process, features, those things are very well known. Then now let's get into the Java environment. Okay? Let's say if you want to install Java, from where you can get Java environment. What do you mean Java environment? Have you heard something like JDK 1.5, 1.7? How about 1.8? Is it released? Not yet. In which year they are going to release it? You don't remember, you don't know. 1.7 is the current version, no? Next year we are going to use it with the new syllabus. Right? Right. Okay? So, then you should know these things. Right. Right. Okay. So then now, when we are writing programs, once you started a program, we have already written a program. Everybody has written a program, right? So then, what we do, try to identify in expressions and statements, something like that. Right? So when we are writing programs, right? So what we do, within the main method, we keep on introducing statements. What do you mean? System.out.println, your name, you say hello, and then A is equal to A plus B, something like that. And then at the same time, let's say int A is equal to 7. Can you understand this? They are statements, right? In Java, we have, because of these statements, we can classify them into two. What are they, Lamai? My first question. We can classify a statement into either a statement or expression. Isn't it? Isn't it? What do you mean a statement? What do you mean an expression? Huh? What do you mean a statement? My friend, let us look at what do you mean a statement and expression? Lamai? When of a statement, it does, without transforming anything, it does execute as it is. Let's say you want to say hello. You write system.out.print and put a, something there. Let's say your name. It's a statement. But statements are end with a semicolon. Can you understand? Right? So then, but because of expressions, what do you mean expressions? They transform the previous state into a different state. Let's say int a is equal to 7. That's a variable declaration. No, we have discussed these things. Int a is equal to 7. There's a transformation. No, we get reserved the memory location having the name a, and we give a value to that a, 7. There's a transformation. So there are expressions and statements also there. Can you understand? You have to remember that. Right? So then, now so if you can identify statement and expressions, please try to give us a question. Right? So then at the same time, so you know the difference between an expression and a statement. Is it okay? What's the difference? What's the difference? Hello? You don't have to explain it, but give me two examples to identify an expression and a statement. Yeah. How about the balcony? How the back, is it okay? Okay. Can you, identify an expression and statement from a given program? But every statement and expression has one quality. They end up with a semicolon. Okay, you have to remember that. All the statements are end up with a semicolon. Right? Right. Okay? Right? Okay. Then, right. So then, is it okay? Any suggestions? Sir, what do you think? Any suggestions? So please suggest me. If you don't like this way, I can, write and explain. I think this is not worth by at this moment. That is why I prefer this way. Is it okay? Huh? Come on, answer. Mohammed Ode. Right. Anyway, they are recorded. It's okay. It's a seminar, not relation program. Right. Anyway, that is there. So you know how to identify expression and state. Then when we are writing our program, okay, sometimes now let's say we use a very complex logic, a very complex expression in our program. Okay. So then what we have to do in the future, we have to remember what we have written there. Because when we are writing Java program, we have to follow the Java syntax. What do you mean syntax? It is grammar. Mama yummy. We go to home, something like that. We have to follow certain syntax. Isn't it? So then sometimes other people might not be able to understand these things. So what we do? We explain them by using what? Comments. Right? There are three types of comments are there in Java. What do you call them? Single comment, single line comment, multi-line comment, Java documentation type comment. Please draw those notations in your given papers. They are not given for you all to Can you understand these notations? Are you okay, ma'am? Repeat. Okay. So then now, wait, get that question. Right? So then you know how to draw comments in. So when you are, when it comes to single line comment, it's a two slashes are there, then you can write a single statement. Okay, so then compiler will ignore that statement when the program is compiled. Is it okay? Then if you want to if you want to comment, if you want to document more than one statement, how do you do that? Slash asterisk asterisk slash. Is it okay? So that has to be used. So then many lines can be commented. Then there's another comment type called Java documentation type. Okay, that means slash 2 asterisk 1 asterisk slash. By using that, what do you do? By using that, what is the purpose of that? What is the purpose of that? Alamai? What is the purpose of that? There's another utility, another command called Java doc, and you have to provide the source file, and you can generate a website, okay, web page explaining those comment area and the class. Okay, if you go to Java documentation, you can see that type of comment, the web pages are generated. Okay, so Java doc type has a special facility. Okay, then by using Java doc, you can generate what? A web page. What do you mean web page? Okay, right? So anyway, So now let's go to the 13th question. Which of the following statements is correct about the comments used in Java? Go through it and tell me the answers. Here we expect you all to familiar with the correct statement, valid statement, isn't it? Comments are always written at the top of the Java source file. That is not. You can comment anything in anywhere in the Java source environment. Is it okay? So is this correct? No. Okay, good. 2 slashes notation is used for single line comments. Yes or no? Yes, correct. Comments are ignored by the Java compiler. Right. Documentation comments occur within that notation. Documentation comments. Yes or no? Yes. Multi-line comments are written within notation. Can you understand? Okay, very easy. The paper is very easy. If you know. If you don't know, see you next year. Right. So then we know comments also. At the same time, to also try to identify, that type of relations. Okay, now expressions and statements, right? Right. Okay. So I am going to follow this flow. Is it okay? Then you will understand everything very clear. Right? So now we know how to comment. Now we know expressions and statements. And then let's go into another area. Okay, I'm not going to use the whiteboard or anything. I'm going to explain you all. Through questions, we are going to discuss. Is it okay? Then you will understand, right? And you can ask questions at any time. You can interrupt me at any time. Okay, but I have a flow. At this we better not go for, what we call the selection framework. Now we are at the beginning. Any questions? Any questions, Sleepy? I won't let you all sleep. For sure. Right. Okay, the next section. Right? Let's go to another section. Variables, variable declarations, and literals. Okay, there is a section. What do you mean a variable? What do you mean a variable? Now here you can see, questions, okay? Right? Now here, let's say we can declare variables. What do you mean declaring a variable? Why we need to declare variables? Lamai, I am the presenter, but I am asking questions from you. See, kind of an interactive session. Well, my students, I suppose. What do you mean a variable? Why the single term for variable? Okay, okay, thanks. Right? So then, actually, when we are writing a program, we have to interact with data. Okay? Data, let's say, maybe your age, maybe the number of friends that you have, your height, maybe your name, something like that. Data, right? So then what we have to do, we have to keep those data in the memory. Okay, what do you mean memory? Have you heard that term RAM? RAM stands for what? Okay. Okay, random access memory stands for what? RAM, it is the acronym of, Acronym is RAM, right? So anyway, let's go fast. Huh? Can you understand what I'm saying? Huh? I have an intention to cover the entire syllabus through questions, aiming at the 27, right? So then, you have to go through books also once you go home, okay? Right. So then, what do you mean a variable? We want to say keep data in the memory, right? So then there's a RAM, okay? RAM has memory cells, let's suppose, okay? So they are given a unique number, okay, in the RAM, okay? So then it is in hexadecimal, okay? If you want, you can give a name and you can provide the value. It is something like that, right? Okay. So let's say right. So it is something like this. But you want to see, let's say in the RAM we have memory cells, right? So it is given a fixed number, right? It is given a fixed number. So then let's say it is in hexadecimal numbers, okay? But you can provide a name and you can provide a value. Variable declaration means that. Is it okay? Right? So then when you are using Java, you have to declare variables. Okay, we have to declare variables. So then when you are declaring variables, we have to follow certain conventions. Now I am going to talk about this convention. What do you mean? That means I am going to concentrate on the variable naming convention. What do you mean variable naming convention? Now when we were writing class name, we followed some convention, isn't it? First letters are in capital letters, others are in lower cases, no space. Okay? How about the variable naming conventions in Java? You can start a variable name with a letter, underscore, or dollar mark, isn't it? If you have multiple words, what is the convention? Always the first word in lower cases, other side, but others, let's say my name, that is my variable name. Simple N, simple Y, capital N, simple A, simple M, simple E. My name, isn't it? Right? Please remember those, because why we need to have these conventions? Standards. What is the purpose of having this standard? Then we can write programs which can be for everybody. Java is open program language, isn't it? So there is the purpose of this convention. But there is a system requirement. So like you can't start a variable name with a number, a notation like asterisk. Okay? There are that type of things also there. Right? Okay. So then now let's go to this question number 10. Select from among the following. The correct variable names which are accepted in Java. What are options? Third year students. Simple T, there are 3 words, capital, the second and the third having capital letters. Is it okay? So that is the acceptable way of writing a variable name. Agree? Yes. Do you like this way or shall we go to another way? I am going to ask you to write programs. Wait. Okay? Right. Underscore mark. Underscore is considered as a one word, capital M, A-R-K. Is it okay? Right. How about the third year students? I need answers from everybody. Answer me. Do you agree with that or not? Diagonally? Tell me. No. Right. Very good. Dollar mark for helping Nugegoda. Dollars for helping Nugegoda, something like that. Don't go with the meaning, okay? There may be some jokes also in the paper, How about it? Is it okay, no? You can start a variable name with the dollar mark. And then that at side, ampersand sign. Is it okay? Not possible. So, you can identify, very clearly and understand. It's okay. So then, when it comes to variable naming conventions, you have to remember those things. There are, things like you can, start a, variable name with a capital letter. Okay, there are dollar mark is possible, underscore, those things are possible. Is it okay? Okay. So then, now, Then that is there. Variable naming conventions, variable names are there. Then now let's try to focus on data types. What do you mean data types? What do you mean data types? You know variable now, you know how to write a variable name clearly, right? So then if you are going to store a data in this variable, you have to think of a data type also, no? That you are going to use with this particular variable name, isn't it? Right? So that is comes under data types. What do you mean data types? What do you mean data? Your name? It's a data. How about your age? Not from the girls, but from the boys. You have an age, I suppose, but you have a correct age. When it comes to girls, always decreasing, right? So then, you have age, you have height, you have a name, address, those things also there. Can you understand? We have to store those data in the memory and process them later. Can you understand? So then when we are, trying to process those data, we have to think of different data types. Okay? So then remember, maybe you have heard, because this is at the end of the semester now, when we are classifying these data types, we can classify these data types under 3 sections. Primitive data types, reference data types, and arrays. Isn't it? Primitive data types means when Mr. Gosling was writing the program, he has got reserved some terms for different data types. We call them primitive data types. At the same time, when we are writing our own, when we are using object orientation, we can introduce our own data types. Like maybe a string data type is there. Okay, it's already there. Similarly, we can introduce customer data type, bank data type, student data type, subject data type, reference data type. Can you understand? At the same time, we have arrays also. I will count that 2. Okay, right? That is also there. So then we have one classification under, data types. Wake up. Hello. Maybe I better change. Look, I will give you have to write a program. It is very soon, right? Because when Mania come here, right? I never let you all sleep, right? So then now consider the second. Now when it comes to primitive data types, there are keywords available available for that particular primitive data type. Starting from byte, then short, then int. So I am the person who is asking the question and answering. Very nice. Okay. Okay. So then short, int, long, float, double, then char, boolean, something like that, isn't it? Right? So when it comes to byte, or all these primitive data, they are keywords in Java. How many keywords that we know? Starting from the main method, there are some keywords except the main method. Now we know 852 data types. We know keywords, out of 56, we know a lot now. At the end of this session, we might be knowing all the things. No, not all, for sure, right? So then, you are getting familiar. So then, if you ask something like that, we will give an answer, no? Can you understand? Okay. So then, now when it comes to the byte, it has a capacity. How many bits are reserved for a byte? 8 bits. How about the next thing, short? How about the short? Yeah. So accordingly, likewise you should know the bit sizes which are occupied for each primitive data. But the thing is, I think it is not a good thing to test in an examination environment. How can I remember 32 something like that, okay? But if you are going to write programs, you have to have that idea. Is it okay? So like how about the double? How many bits are reserved for? Huh? How many? Double. Hello? Huh? 60? Okay. Then we have char and boolean. Now when it comes to byte, short, int and long, they are called number type. What do you mean number? Why not float and double also? They are also number type. But at the same time, char also considered that in C, C++, Java, it is also considered a number type. Okay? So that means we can use those values, okay, which are which are stored in that type of a data environment, okay, for mathematical calculation. Is it okay? And then we have Boolean nodes. Okay, but we have Boolean nodes. So what do you mean Boolean? What do you mean Boolean? Huh? How many people are married here? How many people are not married here? How many people are married? That is not possible. Either you say I am married or not. Boolean. Okay? Okay? Something like that. The light is on now. You can't say it is off now. If it is off, you say off. So in Java we have a data type to represent that type of situations. You represent it either by using false and true. True and false. So they are also keywords in Java. Okay? Remember that is a word. So Subodhini, do you have question like that? Now if you go to question number 11, you can see, okay, but don't go to the question. Question number 11, what is the year? It is 2007, okay, the paper, right? So there you can see we have declared variables. In my num is equal to 34, and then b long my value is equal to 3, 4, 5, something like that, right? Then string hometown within double quotes Padukka. Then float decimal values 34.98. Right? Boolean flags true but within double quotes. Okay? So then somehow I will come to the literals, but now you should know the usage of data types in your programs. Now please tell me, what about now we mentioned 3 classifications, no? Primitive data types, reference data types and arrays. Int comes under which classification? Int, is it a keyword in Java or not? Int is a keyword in Java. Please understand, it's a primitive data type. Okay? How about the long? Is it a keyword in Java? Yes, it is a primitive data type. Right? How about the string, capital S? Can you see? That is not a primitive data type in Java. It is not a keyword in Java, but it's a reference data type. Okay? Because Java is a very small programming language, what do you want to say? But it can do a lot of things. So then now we have around 56 keywords, but people have developed a lot of reference classes, reference data types like string, system, applets, strings. There are a lot of classes are there. So we have used them. That is why Java is very powerful and it's growing day by day. You also can write Java class and incorporate into the environment. Okay, if the people like it. Okay, something like that. How about the Boolean? Is it a keyword in Java? Is it a keyword in Java? I can't hear. I am very old. I am alone. Speak this much. Why can't you all speak loudly? Is it a Boolean keyword? So, yes, right. So then it comes under the primitive data type. Is it okay? Then so now you know different data types available in Java, and without any hesitation, you have the knowledge. Since you have the knowledge, the paper is easy now. Isn't it? Any questions? Yes, sir. Any questions? I have to identify some questions to Bodhini. Any questions? Any questions? Grassroots level learning, but I never ask questions, private questions. Any questions? Do you like this way? Huh? How about the balcony? Is it okay? Shall we continue this way? Right. So now we have come to the variable naming data type. And then when we are declaring a variable, you can see there int my num, that's a variable declaration. You incorporate a variable name with a data type, and then after that semicolon. Is it okay? Variable, but there is another section there. I am going to talk about that, the next step with that. Is it okay? Can you declare a variable? please try to declare a variable. Let's say you want to store your height. I don't know your height. Let's say my height is 5'4", no, 5'5". So I go, please store my height in your sheet of paper using a Java statement. Please write. In that context, you have to decide a suitable name. Name should be meaningful. You better not use your girlfriend or boyfriend name for that height. Okay, something like that. And you have to choose the suitable data type also. What is the suitable data type in this context? So height can be, normally it's a fractional number, no? 5.5. You can expect, Bhagasam, something like this. It's okay. You can't say no, everybody should be, 5. No. So then, right? That is not possible, isn't it? So then in that context, Shubho, we are waiting for you, right? So in that context, we have to go for what? Why double? Double has the capacity, but you can use decimal points, but float also possible. But I haven't seen people who are, more than 20 feet or something. I haven't seen. So, normally 6 or 7, no? How about the Obama? I don't know. Right? So, is it okay? So then you have to, when you are using a particular data type, you have to understand the scenario, the problem domain, isn't it? Right? So then when you have to float and double, you have a capacity. What is the capacity of the float lamai? 32. How about the double? 64. Very good. So then now I am going to move on to another section in Java programming environment that is called literals, true values in Java. Right? That means now when we are writing, when we are, you know how to declare variables now, you know data types now, I suppose. Any question, you didn't ask any question, but after the seminar you can ask if you have. Okay, you can send me checks, right? It doesn't matter. So then now let's try to learn. Now here we have got reserved the memory location, okay, from the RAM, and then we are going to store some values. So then we have informed the environment that we are going to store this type of a data, maybe an int, maybe a float, maybe a boolean, maybe a string, right? Then now, but even though we have given the variable name my name, it doesn't reflect a true value. Agree or not? What do you mean true value? We haven't stored the value there, no? In the my name. My name is just an identifier. Now Professor Amarnath already told you. It is a name of a location, no? We are the people who are living here. Can you understand? So likewise, my name is just a name given for a memory set. But we have to store values. Is it okay? When we are storing values, as soon as we declare a variable, if you store a value along with that particular statement, we call them literals, true values. Okay? Now here you all can see in this example, okay. Right. Int my num 34. Can you see? 34 is a literal. Okay, 34 is a literal. Then Padukka is a name of a, I don't know. It's a name of a city or I don't know, somewhere in Sri Lanka. I know Padukka, right? So when you are writing Padukka, you have to write in such a way. How do you write it? With double quotes. Why? It's a string data type. Okay, in Java, by using primitive data type, we can't cope with strings. We can go with only characters. We have only char. Okay, right. So then, at the same time, now let's say if you want to write a boolean value, let's say flag, right? So then you have to either say true or false, no. But this is not the correct way. Capital T also there, because when we are writing keywords, remember always we have to use smaller cases. Okay, simple cases. Okay, true is not a keyword, and true is represented here as a string also. That is also not possible. Can you understand? So that is not a correct way of introducing a literal. At the same time, you can see long my value, right? But you can see there are around 10 or 11 digits are written there. That is okay. It can be considered as a long value. But if you have written, let's say 3, 4, 5, in this manner, it is not possible. I will explain to you. Okay. Now we are concentrating on the literals in Java. Then at the same time, float decimal values equal to 34.98. We have a fractional part also, decimal part also. Can you see? Yes or no? So if you are going to write this way, then the compiler will object you, say not allow something like that. So the thing is, when we are interacting with in Java and when we are writing literals in Java, there are 4 types of literals are there. Okay? The first one is number type. The second one is what? Character type. Very good. Thank you. The third one is string type. The fourth one is Boolean. Okay? So we have to concentrate on these things when we are going to assign a value into a variable. Or we are going to initialize a variable with a true value. Can you understand what I am saying? Can you understand what I am saying? Can you all hear me? Hello? Right? So now what is our topic? What is our topic? Literals. Okay, thank you. Right? Right. So then now when does a number types, okay, then when we are writing literals, excuse me. Thank you. Okay. Right? Right. So then now in literals, as I told you, there are different four types are there, no? Again, number, literal. Okay, thank you. Right? So then when you are writing literals, should I read that? Okay? Let's start with right? Right? So when you have to number, when you number, we have different types of numbers, no? In short, okay, then we have to provide a suitable value, and then you have double and float, you have to provide a true value, okay? So then char also sometimes is considered as a number type, okay? But char is a different type when you are considering as literal. Don't get confused. Then now let's say byte is equal to 7. You just write it. It doesn't matter. The compiler will accept it, right? Then if you write short, short, my short or whatever, equal to 8. I forgot it now. Okay. Right. So anyway, then it is okay, but if you try to multiply that short with another number, you have to remember very important thing of what happens. It will get converted to int. If you try to multiply short with another number, automatically it gets converted to int. So resultant value has to be stored in a int environment. Please remember that. Okay? Right. So I am going to cover the entire thing, but I am so tired. Okay, anyway. Okay, right. So then, yeah. Do you need the extra papers? You can have extra paper. Right. So then that is there. Then how about the other thing is int. How about the int? You can write int, my int. You can declare a value, but you have to consider the capacity. What is the capacity of the int? 8, 16, 32. So what is the capacity? What is the capacity of int? What is the capacity of the int? You have to get the capacity. How do you get the capacity of 32 bits? Okay. It's okay, but just remember for computer systems. Right, thank you. How about this side? Is this opposition no government? Answer. Okay, anyway. Right? Okay, so then now there's no problem. Now if you try to declare a variable,